It's time to mind your business with me, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in to find out how to mind your business with BEDC, special guest entrepreneurs, industry experts, and more. Brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda business starts here. So welcome to Mind Your Business. I am your host, Jamillah Lodge. And of course, you're my guest today, Sydney West.
Yes, hi
Welcome.
Jamillah.
Hi.
Thank you.
So you have founded a business called Internship Insights Company.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
But before we get started, let's just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so my name is Sydney West, founder of Internship Insights Co. And I recently graduated from St. Francis Xavier University with my Bachelor's of Business Administration with a advanced major in international business, a minor in Spanish along with co-op. I feel like it's the longest degree in life. But yes, so that's my background. And I recently done a internship in Bali for 2 months. So that's where I went for the past 2 months, kind of as research for my business to see if it's something that could be beneficial outside of Bermuda. And I also recently launched a book called Vision to Victory Workbook, and it's to help people to really understand and get specific on their goals, break them down, and be able to achieve them, similar to achieving my BDC pitch win, I would say. So similar steps. And that is actually, I'm having a book signing on Sunday, December 14th. Yes, to
where?
At the Blue Diamond Lounge on Princess Street, so really close to here.
Okay.
Yes. Trying to think. Oh, and also Idiomas BDA, which is my Spanish tutoring company. So yeah, that's
Girl,
a little bit
you're
about
doing
me.
all the things, Sydney. I had no idea.
Yes.
So okay, considering you got a lot of stuff going on,
Yes.
What made you decide to start this company?
That's a great question. So actually, I've been a very observant person my whole life. And so from primary school, I realized that everybody had different backgrounds. And when I mean backgrounds, like parental backgrounds and upbringings. And so I realized that just in how they were brought up may even provide them with different opportunities. And so as I got older, it was something that I always noticed, but wasn't able to do anything about until I did co-op in university, and I was like, okay, this program is good, but it could be better. And so I wanted to create something that was better, and I found like there were many different faults that I wish that I had in that program that I wanted to create in my own program. One being like the lack of partnerships between companies and the university. I felt like there could be partnerships where the co-op office could say, hey, this person would like a internship in this space, like would you be able to offer that for how many other months it was necessary. And so I think that was one aspect. And and I also had my own internship experiences, and some were great and some were not so great. And not so great meaning that they weren't as structured as others. And I realized that differentiated between not only myself and going to different companies, but even in different departments, everybody had a different way to measure their success. And so I wanted to create something that also structured internships so that everyone's getting an equal-ish structure to their internship, so they got a well-rounded experience. And so even networking, I find that some people have a 10 out of 10 experience, other people are having a 20 out of 10, some people are having a 5 out of 10 or 3 out of 10 or 1 out of 10. So understanding that everyone's experience is different, I wanted to find a way to kind of level that playing field and experience as much as possible through education, and then also helping people to find what they really want to do through experience. So that's what we do, is unlock potential through experience. That's our tagline.
Okay. And so how are you going to deliver this? So your clients are the potential students looking for jobs. So they're starting off with internships. So what is it that they should expect once they decide to work with you?
Yeah, so parents or students, they would let us know if they're just looking for the training aspect, they just want the soft skills, we can do that. If they are looking for a guaranteed placement, then we can do that as well. And we would get the students' interest to understand what are they looking to experience or what industry they're looking to tap into. And we'll contact the company on their behalf and create that partnership with that company in order for that student to be placed. But the idea is guaranteed placement. So once you do go through our training and the company also goes through our training, then you would be able to then get placed in that company as well.
Okay. Yes. So you mentioned the pitch competition. So Wave of Opportunity pitch competition, which is made possible by Global Atlantic. So we're very grateful to them. And so you did win one of the $25,000 cash awards. And so with those funds, firstly, let's talk about the whole experience. So why you decided to apply, what was your goal? Well, obviously to win, but outside of winning the funds, like what were you hoping hoping to achieve for yourself and for your business?
Yes, so I actually pitched my idea back in February to my university. And at that time, it was an idea. And I didn't know much about pitching at that point. They also provided resources similar to the BDC, but it's my first time. So obviously, you're not going to be a guru at
Right.
your first time.
Right.
So they gave great feedback, and it allowed me to, feel the blows of losing, but also take into account, okay, how can I move on to the next step? What is the next best step? How can I refine this better to make sure that what I want to get across gets across? And I think the BDC provided great resources for that, even in the preliminary rounds, by providing us with videos and tips on how to create our pitch. And then also getting feedback from family and friends. So yeah, hopefully, I don't know if I answered all those parts of that question.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one part.
So from
The process.
the application, so the why,
Yeah.
right? Because you see it. This is a business, like you said, you pitch when you're in university, and when you saw this opportunity, what were your thoughts? Your initial thoughts?
Yeah, so my mom actually sent me the link. She was
Okay.
like, okay, like this is an opportunity. So I was like, okay. So I was talking to my friend who is also my accountability partner. She was just telling me like, yeah, just apply. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen, so just do it. And I was like, okay, cool. So I remember I was in Bali at the time. So to you, if I submitted, it was probably 2 p.m. Bermuda time, but it was actually 2 a.m. in Bali. And so I applied like 2 a.m. in the morning, and I was like, okay, it's done. At least it's submitted.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so from then, yeah, I got the news that I was able to go into the preliminary rounds and find the preliminary rounds on. So I think it was just more so understanding that this is something I really wanted to do, and I really wanted to bring it to Bermuda, and I was gonna go any which way to do that. And so that was one of aspect of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate that, and I think it's wonderful to hear you talk about the persistence and the drive, because oftentimes, sometimes if you pitch something and you don't get the response that you want, like you don't win or whatever, you can get, discouraged. And the fact that you were like, well, that's your opinion, but I'm going to move this idea forward, speaks volumes. And I think it's encouraging to other young people to say not everybody's going to get it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it could be about timing too.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? You know? So I like how you took that information, you took the feedback, and you refined it to be able to pitch and win for this one. So the grant award was $25,000.
Yes.
Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
So what do you intend to do with those funds? How is it going to help you get your business going?
Yeah, so we are hiring a marketing contractor to help us with our brand. I feel like I already know what my brand is and what the pillars are and all the colors and all those kinds of things, but I think shooting is a lot of work, and then also being able to edit is a lot of work, and then having a LinkedIn, having an Instagram, and then also potentially going onto TikTok. I think those are things that I can be pouring into, but I feel like it takes away from building the products and the services that we do provide. And so to avoid stretching myself too thin, that is one of the first things that we would like to do, is to employ a marketer to help us with getting our brand out there, getting students informed, getting companies informed, and really building brand partnerships. I think that's really important for what we do. And so yeah, that's what we're aiming to do. One is to do our marketing, and that's in every aspect, going to career first, so having the materials for that, and getting into schools, and then also launching our pilot. So we plan to have a pilot in February and April for 1 week each, particularly in the skilled trades industry, to really understand that industry and to really just see how our products work, how they're received, and implement the feedback for the next round of our pilot. So the first pilot would be just what we have, and then we'll let it run, and we'll see how it's received by the companies and as well as the students, get their feedback through each stage of the process. I feel like I live on feedback.
Yeah.
And then the second stage would be to implement that feedback and then re-administer those internships and see what the feedback is on that. And hopefully it's so much better. If not, we'll change it again, and we'll continue to do that until it's at a place where we feel like it's consistent, the value is there on both sides, and we can go forth with an official launch.
Okay, so I'm going to, and you correct me if I'm wrong, try and speak what it is, the delivery, right? So what I'm understanding is that you provide education or support for young people interested in getting internships.
Correct.
So in my mind, I'm thinking there must be like some curriculum for a period of time, right? On the other side, you provide education and training and maybe even a templated kind of format or structure for the organization that is seeking interns.
Yes.
And then at the end of it, once those things or they've gone and completed them and they've been certified, ready, then there is a matching process that takes place.
Correct.
I got that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're saying that you want to do your first pilot in February.
Yes.
And then another one in April.
Yes.
After you take the feedback.
Yes.
Now, what I'm really thrilled about is that you are already planning to institute or incorporate the feedback that you get from the February pilot.
Yeah.
Like you're expecting there to be a need to iterate
100%.
your original, which a lot of people don't. They're like, what you talking about? This is perfect already. And this is how we're going to do it. And you're going to like it. So I think that that's very mature, because I can't think of the right word, to go into it expecting that there are going to be things that need to be changed.
Yes, I think feedback is your greatest resource as a business owner in general, because what I'm learning also through Ignite is that, you know, your customers are the most important of this relationship, and at the end of the day, you want to create things that they value, and so they put their money in what they value. So understanding the features versus benefits, and which do they prefer more? Is it the benefits of getting a secured internship, or is it the features that I have a coach and a mentor that understands me? So understanding that, I think we're going to have feedback, of course, to understand what do the students value the most, what do the companies value the most. Is it the training? Is it the consulting? Is it the program design? Is it your metrics at the end of the day? So all the things that we do so many different things. I think it would be great to understand what is our value add, so that we can position ourselves to serve those people and also pivot if necessary, so that we can serve those who we don't serve appropriately, right? So I think feedback is our best friend, and I love feedback.
Okay, girl, because sometimes people be like, no, I don't care what you're talking about, I'm gonna do me. So I think that's 100%. Excellent though, because I do think at the end of the day, the people that are paying you, that's whose opinion matters, right? So if you're unwilling to switch it up, then you might find yourself alone, taking advantage of your own product. So from the standpoint of the first kind of industry that you want to approach, you mentioned like the trades. Talk to me a little bit about why you chose that industry and like what your ideal kind of cohort would be for that February intake.
So we're looking for 5 to 10 companies. And we're looking for 10 students as well, and we would place them in any trade that they're really interested in. We'll go out and, you know, exercise that brand partnership and really develop the relationships for that. And so to remind me of your question one more time.
Sure.
Sorry.
So I wanted to know for the initial intake or the February cohort, why you chose to focus on the trades industry.
So I decided to focus on trades because it's something that we don't see often. I think that insurance, finance, law are big and popular things in Bermuda to go ahead and study. And we also see that there are many internship opportunities for that. But for the skilled trades industry, you don't see many. And so I really wanted to create something that gives them a way to see themselves in Bermuda and see that there are opportunities here. And I think it's a great way to start picking out the industries that we don't see much of, that students are looking for experience in, to see is this something that I really want to pursue. And so without seeing it, you believe that it's not there, and I think that's not true. And so that's one way in which I want to go about that, and in finding there's an unlock in Bermuda's job market in a sense to go ahead and see, okay, we have skilled trades, we have people that's interested in skilled trades, there's many people that do trades. How can we create this as something that has a stronger talent pipeline? So for these smaller businesses with only maybe one person that's looking to pass it on, and if their family doesn't want it, how can we have people that are already interested in what I already do, and that I can pass this on to, or even teach them what I do. And so, I think that was the main reason as to why we started with skilled trades. It's not something that we see. It's not very popular, but we also want to show that there are opportunities here in Bermuda. You don't necessarily have to go abroad to have those experiences.
So where are you going to get your first 5 to 10 people? Where are you thinking to?
So I've used my dad's network.
Okay.
My dad's,
well done.
Yeah.
Leverage and leverage.
My dad's network and my dad's network and their network.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's where we're starting. And my mom's, I would say as well, network. So understanding yeah, what they do, their business, and then creating that relationship. What do you value? What would you be interested in participating? It will only be a week long. You'll just give us feedback and really understanding both sides. So yeah, I think that's what really, and then the student aspect is partnering with Cedar Bridge Academy. So we're looking to have 10 students from Cedar Bridge.
Yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken, Cedar Bridge does have they have that auto body shop there for the trades and things like that. And so I know they used to have the salon for personal care services. So it seems like that school would be well suited for that type of thing.
Exactly.
So in terms of getting the feedback from that first cohort, what should the student or the young person who enrolls in your programming expect to have received once they complete it?
I would say confidence. I think that is a big thing, is understanding, okay, how do I show up in this workplace? And I feel like for myself, going into internships, I didn't know what my value add was going in. Not understanding that my extracurricular activities or the past jobs that I had already provided me with great experiences and value adds that I can bring in, even my interests, right? So things that you even do in your spare time, whether that's reading or YouTube and whatever that is, you're developing skills that you don't even know that you're developing. And so really cultivating that and really having students understand what are the skills that they already come with to a job, because the technical skills can be always learned online, and so it's the soft skills that we really hone in on, and really understanding what skills you already have that you can possibly refine even more going into this internship, or that you want to use even more going into work, or you want less of going into work. So yeah, just using already your life experience to understand how do I fit into the Bermuda economy workspace.
So now let's talk about from the organization perspective.
Yes.
And what type of learning kind of programming or training that they will be receiving.
So also soft skills as well, more so how to connect with your intern, I would say, but also understanding their expectation. So intern expectation is to come in and learn something. And it also does soft skills as well. So your networking skills. So they're looking to learn something, come out of this with something. And the same with the company, it could be a talent pipeline. So if they are looking for their next hire, then the student needs to understand that this is essentially a long interview. Like you going through your internship process is allowing them to see how you start, how you are in the middle, how you are at the end of your internship. Do you provide great ideas? Are you an asset value add? And so all of those things is what we kind of teach both sides. So for the organization, it would be understanding like this is a student. Please be patient. But also,
no, they need to come ready. I don't want to train nobody.
Exactly. So really just understanding that, like where the intern's coming from.
Yeah.
And then also for the so that's the training aspect of it, but also for the consultant side, it would be more so understanding what is the impact that they have on that student. So if your success metric is talent pipeline or student retention, you want to find out would the student come back, and if they wouldn't come back, why not? And if they will come back, why? And I think that also helps them to better market their internship opportunities. We do great at this, and this. If you're looking for this, and this, come here. And I think it allows us to kind of separate what you're looking for. It could be an intro, which is something that you're just doing a rotation of different departments within that one company. And so you may say, I'm an introductory internship. Or I'm looking for a claims person that's interested in claims. This may be a person that's already done claims 2 or 3 times now. So they know, I like this thing, I want to pursue this thing, and that may be a talent builder. And so yeah, I would say those are the things. And then also looking at program design. Like if you're not sure, okay, how do I develop not only technical skills, but the soft skills? There's networking opportunities. There's different events that you can have that you can invite students to. So also looking at program design. And then the final one would be managing internship programs, where we do both of those things for you. So you don't really have to worry about it.
I mean, I think that's a pretty cool service that you provide, because I'm thinking from a BDC perspective, when we have taken interns in, sometimes, you have someone like maybe a college intern, they're familiar with the work environment, maybe this is their 3rd or 4th internship. And so you can right away just be like, here, I need you to do this, and leave it, right? Because you're busy doing other stuff. So you're like, here's some extra hands that I can take on, but 100%. Not everybody comes like that. So from the organization's perspective, sometimes it can be a bit of a challenge to try and put something or a program together that can, like you said, help the intern leave with something. Exactly. It's like, I don't have time for that.
Right. So that's what we would do.
So now you can actually do that.
Yeah.
And so from the standpoint that every organization is different, like what we do is different from KPMG or another firm. So would you then come into the organization to do an assessment of where there can be some 100%. Yeah.
Okay. So I would love to come in and really understand what is your need and your objective. I think, like I say, goals is a big thing of mine. And so having written my Vision to Victory workbook, I think it has everything in it in regards to getting really specific on goals. And so that's what I would do with the company, is really understand what are you trying to achieve with your student and with your internship program, so that we can build a program that best suits that objective. We don't want to build something that's totally different or opposite from the objective you're trying to aim for, because then it would be pointless. So yeah, that's, I would say, how we would go in and assess. And we can even say, like, maybe you want an internship in this aspect or this area, because students are looking for experience in this area, and it can give it from a different perspective. So like facilities management, that can be in an insurance company, that can be in real estate, like it can be in many different industries. So understanding that is still also a value add.
Okay. So from your perspective, everything just goes fabulous in February. The feedback is that, yes, girl, you're on the right track. So in that scenario, what is like the ideal outcome for you?
The ideal outcome is that everybody has a 10 out of 10 experience. The interns get out of it what they expected. The employers get out of it what they expect. And it just kind of spreads like wildfire.
Everybody's calling you, like, wait a minute, I gotta hire people now.
Exactly.
So I understand a little bit, because I was present at the pitch, about what it is that you're trying to do and who you're going to be targeting. But like, I'm the parent of a 21-year-old and I have a 10-year-old, and having conversations with him about applying for internships and those sorts of things. Sometimes it's like pulling teeth, right? Because I don't know that every young person understands the value of an internship. So how do you communicate that value to this young person who says they want to, I don't know, work in IB or wants to be an accountant, but is not as switched on as you are about how these internships can potentially help them to reach their ultimate goals? Like, what does that conversation with a young person look like?
That's a great question. I think it starts off with understanding what is their perspective, right? Understanding, like, okay, what do you perceive is the path to get to where you want to go?
Oh, no.
And then meeting them where they are. So, if I don't know it's the answer, then we want to look at, okay, well, what do you see? Who do you see as a person that you look up to? Because there must be someone that they see as a reason why they want to pursue that thing, or there must be a reason why they want to pursue it in general. It may not be a person, but it may be a skill that they already like. So looking at it from that perspective, meeting them where they are, I would say, is the best way to understand, okay, what do you perceive internships are? What do you perceive work is? Why do you want to get into this thing? Is it just for money, or is it more than that? And then really understanding, okay, if it's just for money, do you think that you'll be happy to do this? Because money is not the end all be all. I feel like most people think that it is, but once you get into a position and you realize that you're sitting there for 8 hours a day, the money doesn't mean nothing.
It doesn't. You're like, somebody, anybody, help me.
It doesn't mean nothing but a thing. So it's like the people make a difference. What you do on a day-to-day makes a difference. So I would just say, starting with what is the perception of the workplace, what is the perception of internships and the work that they're looking to get into, and then really meeting them where they are, and then creating this space to show them, okay, well, maybe you want to do it this way, because and then connecting the dots. I think it all goes back to from their understanding, how can you position it in a way that is palatable for them.
You know what, I think, of course, because I would say you're closer in age than maybe someone like myself. Without dating myself too much or aging myself too much. And I think maybe hearing it from someone in their age group, like you've been there, done that. And these are your lived experiences that have helped you to arrive at the space where you want to help others. And so maybe it's better received, but also I mean, you said you're basically going to listen to them.
Yeah.
They're going to tell you, right?
Yes.
And I think a lot of times, especially as parents, we're like, I know what's good for you.
Right.
You need to do it right. Like, you need to do it because I'm telling you, because I know. And perhaps that puts them off. You know what I mean? So you're like, it's this push and pull sort of thing.
100%.
And so I think it's very, you would think that's just common sense, but it's not so common.
No, because it's like my mom telling me washing dishes. If I was already gonna do it, I don't want to do it no more because you just told me.
You just told me. I'm not.
So no, I know.
That is so funny. But I mean, that's like insight that you can use, you know, in your business to achieve what you're trying to achieve.
Yes.
So it seems like this was right for you.
Yes.
Now I want to ask you about your idea about entrepreneurship in general, and is that something that you always wanted to do or knew that was going to be a path for you?
Yeah, I would say from a very young age, like I knew that I was gonna do something. I just didn't know what.
Yeah.
And at first, I remember watching like E.T. or whatever they have after the news, and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna be famous one day." I said that to my parents, and they was like, "So you want them to know like what underwear you're wearing?" Because at that time, like everybody's in your business, basically, right? And I was like, "No, I don't want that, but I do want to create an impact in some way, shape, or form that does have my name out there." And so, yeah, from a very young age, I feel like I knew, but I didn't know what.
Yeah.
And so, I just think I started where I was and was able to help different people, and I understood I liked helping people. I liked hanging out with people. I see that people asking for advice, so I see that that's maybe a value add. And so as I just lived life, I guess I just kind of figured out what it was. I think my first entrepreneurial venture or experience would have been back in 2020. I joined I Am Academy, which was a trading platform and a trading education platform. So it teaches you how to trade Forex.
Okay.
And so they had, beyond just the educational platform, they had groups, and so the different groups would host different events that kind of riled you up and got you excited in network marketing. So that was really what it was network marketing. And so in that's entrepreneurship in and of itself, because you have to go out and tell people, okay, hey, you want to buy this product and why you want to buy this product and why it would be valuable to you. And so that kind of started it, and I also had the opportunity to kind of teach some people how to trade as well. So I knew that education was a thing that I enjoyed. And then also living on my own, schedule was also something that I enjoyed. And so I was like, okay, but I think as time went on, I learned that entrepreneurship was more than just the glitz and glam that we see. It is the discipline that creates the consistency and the highs and the lows. Like sometimes it's all great, like this BDC competition where everyone's looking to help and give advice, and but there's all the times where you're looking for the support and you have down days and you're like, do I want to keep going? But you have to at the end of the day, right? Like that's where your discipline kicks in, because at the end of the day, you still want to show up for your business daily and whatever that looks like for you. So yeah, I would say entrepreneurship is a blessing. I love the idea of being able to build skills by myself, for myself, like discipline. I would say that's the biggest one, and creating routines, and then also collaborating with different people and living on your own schedule. But it's easy, but it's hard.
It's hard.
It's like simple. I should say simple, but it's hard.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people, like you said, they see the glitz and the glam and they're like, oh, they are fabulous. But what did it take behind the scenes for them to get to where they are?
Many late
and
nights.
It's grind, right? It's hustle. It's like you're working longer hours for yourself than you ever would for anyone else, you know? Especially if you want to reap the rewards, right? There's a lot of risk and a lot of late nights to go into building a successful business. And like you, at such a young age, you already know that. So you're prepared to put in the work, I should say. So it's not like, you know, a dream or, you know, some fiction.
Right.
You understand what is required to turn out a successful business. That's exciting to see. I can't wait. I'm gonna be like, I remember her. She told me she's gonna be famous one day. Sydney said it. And sometimes you have to speak those things into reality.
I totally believe that.
You know, when you see other stars and they're interviewed or whatever, a lot of times they're saying the same things that you are. I always knew I was gonna be doing this. But I think that speaks to the goal setting piece, right? That you mentioned. Is if you don't have the goal, well, what you gonna strive for?
Right, you're aiming at nothing. And I think most people think that arriving at a goal, it just happens overnight. And I remember after I pitched, but before the winners were announced, someone came up to me and said, luck is preparation and opportunity. So that equals luck. And I said, yeah, literally, because it's not about being lucky, but it's about being prepared. And so in order for
showing up.
Yes. And so even in order for you to be prepared to take advantage of the opportunity, you have to, like you said, set that goal, be able to break it down step by step, and then being able to understand, okay, all right, what is step one?
Yeah.
Getting down to step one and then finding ways to take that action daily. And I think that's the most important piece, like not giving up even when the hard times do come.
Yeah, because they're going to come.
Yes.
And you just got to still yourself and just keep going and keep moving forward.
That's the beauty of community as well, right? So building the right community around you to inspire you and to remind you of the reason why you started in the first place, because sometimes it could feel like, why did I even do this?
Why am I doing this? I can just go get a job, mind my business, and then let somebody,
else do it. Yeah, but it's like, no, you actually designed this for impact. You designed this because you saw the need, and who better than you to build it, because you're the one that saw the problem. So yeah.
And you know how to fix it.
Yes.
Well, listen, it has been a pleasure, Sydney.
Yes.
I am excited for you. I'm excited for what's to come.
Thank you.
So those who are interested, from an organization perspective, as well as from a potential student or young person perspective, how can they follow up and get more information?
Yes. So on Instagram, you can find me at Sydney.riona. We also have an Internship Insights Co. Instagram as well, at Internship Insights Co. And then LinkedIn, same, Internship Insights Co. Website, internshipinsightsco.com. And my name also on LinkedIn, Sydney West. So follow up. You can, message me on either of those platforms. We do have a contact page on our website if you want to look through and ask some questions. And then for the skill trades, if you have students interested, if you have companies interested in skill trades, you can always head over to our website, internshipinsightsco.com. Go on the Work With Us tab. You would see join the pilot, click that, and you would see two options. I'm an employer, I'm a student, and that will take you to our application form, and you can really see what we offer and let us know what your interests are, and then we can go from there and reach out to you.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, I am so excited, and I can't wait. Please do keep us updated.
Yes,
like
thank
after
you
that
so
February
much.
cohort. But I just want to thank you again for coming on and minding your business with me today.
Yes, thank you so much, Jamillah, for this interview. It was
You're
fun.
welcome. You're welcome. And just remember, if you don't mind your business,
who would?
Yeah! You got it. Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Business with me, your host, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. because if you don't mind your business, who will? Mind Your Business is brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here.